All right, welcome everybody back to the Assback Sports Podcast. I'm the commish,
I'm G.
and here we are with episode 10, the Chicago Bears. If you haven't been here
Bears.
before,
Oh,
he's a Lions fan, so I'm gonna be keeping him in check a lot this episode here. If you guys haven't been here before, G's a Lions fan. I'm a Panther fan. He's gonna have some things to say about your new head coach here, so I hope you don't hate us too much.
You did.
I'll reel him in a little bit. And anyways, what we'll do is we start off with the cap space and the draft picks that are left. Then we'll talk about some of the coaches and the GM. Just kind of give a little bit of background on them, give you guys like our take on them, what we think, and all that. Then we'll move on to players and note. Players and note are typically players that like led the team in passing, rushing, receiving, interceptions, all that good stuff. And then we'll throw a couple other players in there too, because we know that those players aren't the only players on the team that. So then after that, with free agency already happening, we're going to go over free agent signings a little bit, talk about kind of, who we wish they maybe would have gone after, what we think about who they did go after, and we'll talk about that. Then we get into the draft a little bit. We talk about who we think that they should draft. We'll go through a couple of our mock drafts. We'll share our screen here a little bit so you can see what we're really looking at and the sliders that we use too. So with that, we're going to jump right in here and get to the cap space and the draft picks.
Yeah, well, they're not doing them too hot on the cap space. Got $11 million in cap space, was 29th in the league. I think that, and it's kind of crazy because I think they only have like $4 million in dead cap, which is kind of crazy.
4 million.
So they ain't got a ton of money, which is they'll be all right. I mean, they have a rookie quarterback deal, that's good, but I don't know. They're paying some guys some money. That's all I got to say. And they brought in a lot of pieces too that they got to pay. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the trades they made, but they had good cap space, and that was the thing is they spent it on getting the offensive line better, doing those trades with Joe Thuney and all that. And we'll get into that a little bit more later on. We'll talk about them, but I mean, 11 million isn't great, but like looking at the team now, especially after free agency, like there's not really that many holes that it's like, man, this is glaring. I mean, defense needs some help for sure, but you guys have 7 draft picks. You have the 10th overall pick. So there's going to be someone at 10 probably that you can use either on offense or on defense that can really, really improve this team. Because we've talked about it before, and kind of after 10, like in that area is when we start to see a real drop off of the prospects and the level of play from those guys. So I think the 10 is a great spot to be in. You can grab one of those last people in there and really take advantage of that. Or, trade out too. It's a good spot to trade out of if someone's sliding down a little bit.
Yeah, I think that, they definitely got an option to trade out for sure.
Yeah, I really think like picks 7 through 10 have a good option to trade out.
Yeah, I think so
and
too.
You guys have 2 second-round picks. You have your own. You have ours from the Bryce Young trade. We all know that. Worst trade in franchise history, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. You have no 6th-round pick. Hey, it's turning out okay. I'm not really too mad about it. 2 7th-round picks. So honestly, like you don't really have great picks. I mean, you have the 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, and that's awesome. And they're high picks too.
Yeah.
You have yours 10th in the 2nd round and all that.
You can trade a 2nd round and get some picks later on too.
Yeah, maybe trade back from that first one or something like that. Again, if
you can get like a 3rd and a 4th. Easy. And maybe even like, something good next year too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, there is things they could do, I guess, but I don't know, just not having many, like you have 1 3rd-round pick, 1 4th-round pick, 1 5th-round pick. And like, I feel like those are really where like a lot of these teams like this need to like expand on people, because that's depth when you're signing guys in like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. Like those guys are really like the depth pieces, so you really have to nail those. And the more of those that you have, especially in a deep draft like this, like this draft there's nice players like all the way into like the 4th and 5th round at different positions too. So and we'll talk about that a little bit. We only do our mock drafts until like the 3rd round, so we won't go into that too much, but we'll mention it here.
We'll see what they do.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just can't wait for the draft.
We're already there.
We're almost there.
I hope y'all crash and burn. So there's no love here.
Man. Yeah, there's no love from.
I'm going to do my best to be honest and give you my honest opinion and, look at the facts. But at the end of the day,
I'd rather you do that. Yeah.
Go Lions. But anyways, all right. Let's talk about their GM. You want to tell them about their GM?
Yeah, sure. Let's go to the coaches and the GM. So the GM, Yeah, I mean, I think it's good, you know, like having competition and everything like that too, like and seeing what other fan bases think of the team. Like you guys know the other team, you know, like you know the Bears better than you think, like you know them probably better than you know some of the other teams in the league, just because like you go against them twice a year, you know, like
yeah. Well, and we are going to have the best division of football. I will say that. And,
for sure.
It's going to be a dog fight. So I mean, I'll still give him the respect. I'm still mad about Benedict Johnson.
You won't let that go for a while, but that's okay. But anyway, so the GM is Ryan Poles. He was appointed as the 7th GM in franchise history in 2022. Before joining the Bears, he spent 13 years with the Chiefs, and he was in various like scouting and personnel roles, so I don't really know how much he like contributed there. I mean, he was in the postseason with them and everything. He helped with college scouting. He was executive director of player personnel, and he helped draft Patrick Mahomes when he was the director of college scouting in 2017. So, you know, maybe he was like, hey, this guy's going to be great. We should get this guy. But so far, like, I don't know. I'm not like a huge fan of what they've done. Like for all the draft picks and everything they got from us in that trade, like they really haven't done a lot with it. I mean, they're picking 10th and they what they picked like 9th last year. It's, you know, this team hasn't really improved. Like Ryan Poles just kind of is keeping them where they're at. So I'm not really a huge fan. And honestly, I don't think he's done a great job. Like everyone talks about that trade, but like, what have you really done with that trade to make this team that much better? Like you've gotten pieces and like there's some good guys in there. I'm not clowning on Caleb, but
I think he's done an okay job. You know, I mean, he's brought some good. I mean, I feel like this year he really did pretty good, honestly, in the off season. You know, and he's brought.
Well, I keep seeing all these memes, and it's like the Bears are off-season champs again.
Yeah, they seem to get that, and then they suck. But I mean, they do have a good foundation. Like if you look at like either side of the ball, like he's done a good job of putting pieces there. There's pieces there.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it is like, well, the Bears should perform, but then they just don't perform. And I don't really know. To be honest, that might have something to do with coaching too. Because I mean, you know, when you're bringing in and everybody, you know, everybody's watching and they're like, oh yeah, they damn, man, they made moves this year in free agency for the last 2 years now. And you're like, damn, they just underperforming. I kind of want to lean on more of a coach in that situation. Players too, though. They're not playing to what they should be playing to, but
yeah. I mean, honestly, Eberflus, their last head coach, probably should have been fired before last season. Let's be real. Like, you know, and Bears fans, I'm sure you guys agree. Like, he just should have gone before. Like, I've seen things about it. I've heard about it on different podcasts and everything like that. Like, he wasn't a beloved coach. He didn't do great there. So, you know, they just got rid of him a year late. I mean, hopefully Ben Johnson isn't just like some product of the Lions. You know, like we'll really see how much this Dan Campbell coaching tree is a real coaching tree. And I'm not like shitting on Dan Campbell at all. Like sometimes the coaching tree just doesn't work out. You know what I mean? Like sometimes he's a great head coach and the guys that are underneath him look exactly. That's kind of what I was going to say. Like Belichick was a great head coach, but like no one from his coaching tree went out and has been a great head coach. Like they've all been like good coordinators. Josh McDaniels is a good coordinator when he's
they've all been great coordinators.
Exactly, but like no one can seem to figure out how to be a head coach. So maybe that's how Ben Johnson's going to be. We'll see. I'm very curious because I mean the Lions were built very well. That offensive line was good. They had a good run game. They traded for a good quarterback that was entering his prime. They built the defense well. They hit on good draft picks. You know, there was a lot that went into Ben Johnson being able to have such a good offense. It wasn't just him by himself building this thing into something like, and I'm not shitting on him either. Like I want him as the head coach of the Panthers. Don't get me wrong. Like when he was up for the interview,
he was the best. He's the best coach available for this year, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, but like that's what I'm saying is we'll really see like how much that was him and how much that was having good pieces around him and good coaches around him and good everything, you know, good structure.
Yeah, I mean, he got a much better hand than Aaron Glenn did.
Absolutely.
Like we invested in offense, so. But I mean, you know, I already see him. He's doing some of the same thing. So we'll get to that when we talk about free agency. But like he's trying to build what the Lions had. Really, he's trying to copycat it. So. Which I mean, nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that because I mean that's clearly, I mean they've shown that that's a good way to build. So I mean,
yeah,
don't blame them.
Well, and I got to give it to Ben Johnson too. Like he started as an offensive quality control coach in 2019, and then was the tight ends coach in 2020, and was that for 2 seasons, and was only the offensive coordinator for 2 years, right? Like 2022 to 2024 is what I'm seeing. So 3 it's years. Like 3 years, yeah. So
it should have been 3.
Okay.
Because he got so
I think the 2022 season, the 2023 season, the 2024 season.
Well, yeah, and I think he took over in the middle.
Well, yeah, so I mean, I give it to him. I've said that before on other episodes. I like when coaches make their way up from the bottom, because that means that they know the ins and outs of everything. So, this looks like a great hire. He's definitely the best coach of this hiring cycle, and we'll see if he really stands up to it, or if Dan Campbell is just a really good head coach and doesn't, we'll see. Or it could just be Ben Johnson's a terrible coach, because Aaron Glenn could do good and then he could be bad. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
I don't think that Ben Johnson will do terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I know you don't hope he does good.
I don't. I definitely don't. Fuck him. But like, I don't think that he's gonna do bad. I think he's either gonna do okay or he's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, we have yet to figure that. I don't think anybody knows what we're getting. I mean, I think we're all assuming good, but that's not necessarily always the case. We'll see. But I mean, he's definitely got the mind for the offense. Like he created some awesome plays, but he also had other coaches helping him make the plays. It wasn't all Ben Johnson.
For sure. And good players to execute those plays too.
Yeah.
It wasn't built overnight. He didn't build an offense in one season. He didn't build it in one off season. He was doing that for a long time. So it might take a year or two for it to get like really going here, but they also have a lot of pieces. I mean, this offense is in place to really like be good. It'll be really interesting how Declan Doyle, their offensive coordinator, how he kind of integrates into this. And I really like his background. I think it will marry really well with Ben Johnson. I didn't see like any overlap between the two. So it's very interesting that this is who he chose for his offensive coordinator.
It's not.
It's not?
No, I'm pretty sure they work together.
I didn't see anything when I was doing research, but
if not, then it doesn't matter. It all kind of, so the Sean Payton coaching tree is what you're seeing from like a Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn. So like all these people,
that's true, huh?
There's ties there. Maybe not direct ties, but like, you know what I mean? Like there's a reason those people are working together. So
I see. Well, and I like
Ben Johnson worked. Maybe he didn't work with Sean Payton, but he worked with Dan Campbell, who's a lot, who come from that Sean Payton tree. So did Aaron Glenn. So, I mean, a ton of people on that team were Kelvin. I think Kelvin Shepard was over there in New Orleans. There's a bunch of coaches that were from over there that came over there, and so I think that's kind of what, his vision is going to be similar to Dan Campbell's. So I think he's going to bring in those types of coaches.
Yeah. I just looked it up, and he doesn't have any crossover with this offensive coordinator. Really? He started coaching at Boston College in 2008 or 2009 and was promoted to the tight end coach in 2011. And then in 2012, he was hired as an offensive assistant for the Dolphins. And he worked
with Dan Campbell.
Yeah, in 2015, he was promoted to tight ends coach under the 2015 interim head coach, Dan Campbell.
Yep.
So, and he was retained and named the wide receiver coach, and then he went to the Lions in 2019. So, there's not any overlap. But, I mean, I think I agree with what you're saying is there's probably like that overlap from Sean Payton into like all of these guys, and they just kind of like see each other and know each other from that. So that makes a lot of sense. And I like that. I think that Ben Johnson's style and Sean Payton's style like are very similar to each other, because Sean Payton was kind of the Ben Johnson before the Ben Johnson and before the Sean McVay. Like he created some pretty awesome plays with Drew Brees and all those guys that they had in New Orleans. So like I like that a lot. And I mean, there's a lot of work to do. 32nd in yards per game, and at 284 yards or 284.6 yards a game, 28th in points per game, 18.2 points per game. So they got a lot of work. And, for everything that offense was supposed to be, we heard about it before the draft that Caleb Williams was going to be number one pick. He was going into like the best situation and everything. And people said the same thing about Bryce Young. Before he got drafted, they were saying that our coaching staff was like the best coaching staff that he could go into. It had good veterans. It had good like new young guys. It had like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. So, you know, and that's nothing. I'm not saying anything about Caleb necessarily in that, but like, I think we need to stop having such high expectations of these rookies coming in that they're just going to come in and light the world on fire. Like we've seen Jaden Daniels do it, and we've seen CJ Stroud do it. And I mean,
but they weren't
Cam
supposed
did
to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And like we've seen other guys do it over the years, but like there's not like five. Like when you have 6 quarterbacks drafted in the first like 20 picks or whatever, there's not going to be 5 of them that are like amazing and take their offensive to new levels. And you know, even the first overall pick. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do.
Doyle also has kind of like a similar background as Ben Johnson too. Like how Ben Johnson came up. Doyle's kind of the same way. Doyle has more experience, but you know, I mean, he was an assistant longer.
Yeah.
But he was tight ends coach and everything like that too. So I don't know. You know, they probably see eye to eye pretty well. If I had to guess.
Yeah, I really like that hire. I think that'll be good. And bringing in Dennis Allen as the D coordinator is a really good like. There's always that veteran that a first-time head coach brings in, you know, like we've seen it on a couple of these other first-time head coaches, like the D coordinator or the offensive coordinator or the offensive assistant or in some capacity. There's a veteran coach that's been here for a long time. And here we have Dennis Allen, pretty familiar with him. You know, he was the Saints D coordinator and the Saints head coach for a long time. Yeah, Sean Payton.
I'm telling you.
It's interesting. I didn't even really realize that until you said that, like that coaching tree. Yeah. Sean Payton's coaching tree is actually pretty extensive if you really think about it. There's a lot of guys that came from that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like good coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and Dennis Allen was definitely a better defensive coordinator than he was a head coach. So I think this is a great addition for him because he does know how how a head coach role runs. And he is, again, close with Sean Payton. So I think that he's in his 30th season coaching. So it's like he knows what he's doing. I think he'll be a calming presence for them. He's not going to have to worry about Dennis Allen having his job done. You know what I mean? Like he was a head coach. He's been a defensive coordinator forever. So like he's going to have his shit together.
Well, yeah, and that's what Ben Johnson needs. He don't want to worry about the defense. He's not a defensive minded coach. Like that's not his thing. He's offensive.
Yeah.
And so you need a strong defensive, coach. And that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
His resume speaks for himself. I think he'll do pretty good. And that Bears defense was already, in my opinion, that was like the best part of the team. Even going into last year, like that was their strong point.
I mean, they didn't really perform great. 27th in yards per game, but 13th in points per game. So yeah, I mean that's pretty good. They held them to field goals, is what it looks like. Let's see if there's a red zone. Let's see it.
Yeah, see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. But so like it looks okay. They have good pieces on defense. We'll get into that here in a second when we start talking about the players of note. We'll go over kind of who they have there and everything. But I agree. Like that going into the season, everybody thought that was going to be their strong point, and it just didn't turn out to be as strong of a point as they thought.
No, yeah, but I mean, their offense won't get it done either, so they kind of put them in those numbers are skewed too because they weren't getting shit done on offense.
Yeah, when you're 32nd in yards per game, that means you're not getting anywhere, so you're punting at the 20 or whatever a lot.
Yeah,
and they have a short field to go, and
right. So I mean, their defense, you can't really judge their defense last year. I mean, I give them a pass, because they should have been better, and they are. I mean, they got good players on defense.
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, Dennis Allen has some good pieces to work with. He'll, and maybe they'll add someone else in there too. Another kind of calming presence on there is their special teams coordinator, Richard Hightower. 17 years of coaching experience. So yeah, he's been around for a little while. This is his 4th season as the Bears special teams coordinator and 5th year overall. He was the assistant special teams coach for.
That's a pattern. They keep the special teams guys.
Yeah, we've been seeing that a lot of these top guys. And I mean, it's smart. I hear a lot about how important special teams coaches are to like the functionality of the team. Because if you look at some of the good head coaches like Mike Tomlin, special teams coach. And we've talked about this before on other ones too. Like that, so having a good special teams coach is good. They ranked 20th in special teams on Pro Football Focus, so not bad. Not great, not terrible, not great, but like 20th when your offense and defense are that bad, I'll take it.
Right? Yeah, I mean, can't be mad at it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was really surprised when I saw this, the turnover differential. They were in 9th with a positive 8 differential. They had 24 takeaways, so pointing to that defense that you talked about.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the defense is better than people think it is. And like I said,
11 interceptions. Yeah, 11 interceptions, 13 fumbles recovered. That's pretty good. That's pretty crazy. And they didn't have very many giveaways either, 7
interceptions and 9 fumbles for a loss. And 7 interceptions is not bad, especially for a rookie.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, not bad at all.
He only threw 6 too. One of those came from.
Did it?
Yeah, one of those came from another quarterback that like came in and threw a pass or something like that too.
Well, I mean, that's pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, six interceptions only. That's great. I mean, he looked great. And with that, let's just get into the players of note. We'll just start talking about Caleb here. First overall pick, 2024, supposed to be this kind of like quarterback messiah. As soon as they said they were going to draft him, Bears fans were already saying they were going to win the Super Bowl and, in his rookie year and do all this stuff. And, we knew that wasn't going to be a thing. He was going to be better than that. Like the Bears fans were saying that he was going to be like the best quarterback of all time. He'll have 10 Super Bowls and all this stuff. It's like, just chill. Like, he looks good. He has a lot of good measurables. He, like we just said, he didn't throw a lot of picks. He had 3,541 passing yards, 20 touchdowns. His passer rating was 106.4. He had 6 interceptions, took 38 sacks, 62.5% completion percentage. Yeah. And I mean, he added some rushing value too, 489 yards rushing. But this is the craziest stat that I saw when I saw for Caleb. He had 6 fumbles.
It's terrible.
He only lost 2 of them, so that's great, good for you. But like 6, dude, that's nuts. Like, you got to get that shit under control.
He'd be trying to scramble too much. He realized how fast the NFL is. Oh shit!
Yeah.
I ain't able to do what I did at USC.
Exactly. And that's what I was telling everybody is like, he was praised so much for his like out of structure playability. And that is great to have. You definitely need to be able to know what to do when the play breaks down. But like, he tried to just break down. I mean, the play did break down every play, but it's different when the play breaks down in the NFL. When the play breaks down in the NCAA and you're faster and stronger and better than the guys you're going up against for the most part, easy enough. But when you're playing against NFL linebackers, NFL cornerbacks, NFL D linemen, they're not going to let you get that shit.
Fast.
Yeah, they're just as fast. They're just as smart. They're just as strong.
Yeah, because they already know what they're going to do when the play breaks down. They already know where they want to be.
Yeah, I mean, that's at you.
They're that far ahead of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be better. Maybe he'll do better this year. I don't think Caleb Williams is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I don't either.
I know I'm a Lions fan. I know, but like, I didn't like his demeanor coming out of college anyway. Yeah. So I'm not a fan. I don't think he's a locker room guy.
But I'm not too concerned with his demeanor. I think that I just wasn't a fan of the way that people just said he was the next great quarterback. Like, let's just chill on all that. Let this guy come in. And let this guy come in and show us that he knows how to read a defense and that he knows how to make a play when the play breaks down and everything. And he can't make the play when the play breaks down right now. He's trying to do too much. Like you said, that's a lot of sacks taken, 38. They definitely improved the offensive line around him. It was terrible. It was awful. And they just went out and revamped it. So it's better now.
It looks good now. Looks actually really good right now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but Jonah Jackson, really?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always a player that they bring in that like knows the offense and knows the blocking scheme and everything like that. So that makes a lot of sense, actually.
He's always hurt, man. He ain't gonna last the whole season.
Yeah, he's not gonna be good.
There's a reason we let him walk.
Yeah, I mean, he did okay for the Rams last year, though. It wasn't great.
I think he was hurt for like half the season, but yes. No, they cut him.
They cut him? No, because they traded. They traded.
You're right. They traded him.
But anyway, I mean, it's going to help. You know, even if he's there for a little bit, it will help improve.
He's a decent lineman.
Yeah, and I mean, so Caleb had a 67.6 Pro Football Focus grade, 44th out of 75 QBs. Now, by your own metric, G, you said that Bryce Young had he was the 30th, so you judge it out of 32. So basically, Caleb Williams isn't good enough to be a starting quarterback by G's prior logic on here. I had to do it, dude, because Bryce Young, 32nd or 30th or whatever.
Bryce Young's not necessarily a starting quarterback either. So
yeah, he is. 30th on Pro Football Focus, dog.
Dude, he may have started. He may have started, but he's not a starting quarterback caliber yet.
Yeah, he is. Anyways, we're talking about the Bears here.
No, he's not. Now you want to switch it up.
Hey, I just don't want to get too far off on it. I can go off about. We can talk about Bryce Young, but that's not what the Bears fans want to hear. I mean, they're gonna want to hear it because they're like, oh, we got Caleb. He's so much better. Yeah, sure. His yardage and everything's been better, and he's looked great. But you guys are only picking a couple of picks behind us.
He had a much better first year than Bryce Young.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Bryce Young's rookie season was terrible. Caleb looked decent out there. He looked. I mean, in like I said, I don't want people saying that he's the next Patrick Mahomes and all this stuff. I'm okay with him saying he's a good quarterback. He is a good quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers were actually they were good for a rookie. He kind of got the limelight got taken away because Jay Daniels, but he did all right, man. He did okay. I mean, I still don't like him. I don't think he's gonna be great, but he did good, so I can't knock that.
I mean his offensive grade or whatever is 31st, and his passing grade is 31st out of 41 and 42 quarterbacks. So, the Pro Football Focus didn't totally dog him on this, but I don't really agree with that. We've talked about that a lot. I don't really agree with a lot of Pro Football Focus's grades. I think that sometimes they're very off. Sometimes they're accurate. Sometimes, okay, I agree with that. They're pretty average, pretty middle of the pack players, and they'll deal those guys that kind of grade. But when you're talking about some players, and Caleb Williams is a good example of that, 44th out of 75 quarterbacks, I just don't agree with that. He was definitely not the best quarterback in the league, but he played fine. There's a lot. It could be so much worse.
Yeah, I think he's better than what they put him. But
yeah,
but I mean, he's a rookie, so I feel like this next year and the year after will be the years you judge. That's what Caleb Williams is going to turn into.
Yeah, for sure.
Some quarterbacks have a step back in year 2, but really Caleb Williams shouldn't have a step back because he played good, but he didn't play great, and so. He should improve.
And they're surrounding him with better offensive pieces. He didn't play good enough where he could have a step. Yeah. Well, a big part of the offense not doing great, though, in my opinion, is the running backs. DeAndre Swift was the leading running back, and he only had 959 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, 1 fumble lost, 3.8 yards a rush. Yeah.
Booty cheeks.
It's dude, it's just not very good. He did add
386 yards receiving, which
but no receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, I know, But they acted like they got him from the Eagles. He had one good year. All right, one good year, and then that was that. Then he went to the Bears. But we had DeAndre Swift too. I mean, I'm familiar with him, but he's not an every down running back.
No,
he's not.
He's not. He's not your bell cow guy. He doesn't need to be a number 1. He needs to be. He's a good number 2. I'm sure. If you put, maybe Ashton Genty in there, him and DeAndre would be great. I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, he had a 61.3 Pro Football Focus grade, 43rd out of 47 running backs. And I don't really agree with that ranking either. He wasn't great.
I do.
But 43rd out of 47.
Yeah, dude, he didn't do shit.
I guess, yeah, and 3.8 yards.
He had 959 yards, but he fucking was the only running back.
That's true. Yeah, they don't really have anyone else that was looking great.
Now, part of that's going to be the O-line, too, to be fair.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
That's true. DeAndre Swift is not he did good on the Eagles. We had a great O-line. He sucked booty cheeks, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think he's
well, and Caleb Williams was the second leading rusher.
Yeah, he's a number 2 or number 3.
Yeah, no, I agree. They need to get someone else in there for him.
Yeah, you need somebody else.
Yeah,
but
and with DJ, that, and who I'm familiar with him, obviously, and he's a great receiver. He runs good routes. He's good after the catch. I'm really mad. Like, he was the worst piece to get rid of in that whole Bryce trade. Like, I would have loved to have him. Like, you guys could have had Brian Burns. I would have gladly given up Brian Burns and taken DJ Moore. Like, that was the worst part of the trade. I love DJ Moore. I think he's a great receiver. Led the team with 966 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 fumble, and he lost that 1 fumble. 98 receptions, 140 targets, 9.9 yards a catch. And his Pro Football Focus grade was good too. 73.5.
Solid.
Absolutely.
All around.
Signed a 4-year extension in 2024 through 2029 for $110 million. So you guys got him locked up. And that's a great move. He's a great receiver. You can't really ask more from a receiver. He's consistent. He catches what's thrown to him for the most part. He knows where to get out of bounds. He doesn't drop the ball a lot. His fumble, 1 fumble isn't bad.
He stays fairly healthy too.
He does, and he can take a hit too. Like, he took hits with us, he's taking hits with the Bears, and he gets right back up and gives it right back. Yeah, I like DJ Moore a lot. That's a great piece to have there.
I do too.
And
I like him.
For the defense, Kevin Baird, he led your team in tackles. He had 130 tackles. That's great. I mean, especially for a safety.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I love a safety at tackles.
Yeah, me too. That also means that they were kind of getting out there a little bit, and he had to tackle kind of deep into the secondary. So that's also an issue there.
Yeah, I think you want your safety to have 130 tackles. 90? Yeah, let's get 90.
It looks like he might have kind of been more of a linebacker in a lot of instances, though, because he had 5 tackles for a loss, too, and you don't really see that from safeties a lot unless they're playing closer to the line, I guess. So maybe they're just running that a lot because he is good. I don't know. 7 passes deflected, also had an interception, a forced fumble, recovered 2 fumbles, so that's great. He caught someone else's fumble that they made. Graded out at a 72.8, good for 32nd out of 171 safeties. So, he's a really great, solid piece.
Yes, he is.
And he's locked
his
up
coverage
until after this season.
Cover grade is not as good.
Yeah,
his cover.
Yeah, I can see that.
He is more of a linebacker style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of
why he's out there tackling.
But that's not a bad thing to have. He's definitely good in that role, so you can't really complain too much, So he'll be a free agent after the season. Yep.
Defensive end led the team in sacks with 5.5. Also had 32 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, 2 pass defended, and 2 forced fumbles with a PFF grade of 65.6. Good for 75th out of 211. My bad, guys. Edges. And he just signed a 4-year extension for $98 million. So he's there till 2027. But solid. I think he could have had a better year this year. He kind of underperformed in my opinion, but
5.5 sacks isn't great. I mean, I think last year
he
had
more out of
12.
him.
And he played 16 games too, so it's not like he didn't play all the games. And he was only the sack leader by half a sack too.
Yeah, you want more sacks than that, and you need a better sack. Like, your sack leader needs to have 10.
Yeah, double digits is definitely where you want that at. I mean, we can't say much about the defense. They had a lot of takeaways though, so they did look. They looked good when they needed to.
No, they're good. I mean, they're good.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the guy next to him too. Gervon Dexter is a good D tackle too. He plays there. On the other side of Sweat, so he's kind of disrupting the other side while Sweat gets to disrupt one side. So I like that. It's a good setup there. I think that'll be a good combination to have for a long time there.
Yes, and then Jalen Johnson. I will say this: Jalen Johnson is my favorite Bears player. Even though, I mean, I hate the Bears, so it's not saying much. But Jalen Johnson's a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid. Like that's my favorite player on their defense for sure.
Yeah. Well, and he led the team in interceptions, but him and Tyreek Stevenson also led the team, so he had 2 as well. Johnson had 53 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss. That's great from corner. I like that too. 8 passes deflected, forced fumble. Look great. I mean, those are good stats to have. Yeah, blown screens. Yeah, he's smart. He's definitely. I mean, he's one of the highest paid cornerbacks in the NFL too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's young too. I think still. I think he's really young.
Certain. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see how old Jalen.
He's 25. Yeah, so he's definitely going to be there for a long time and going to be great. I mean,
yeah,
that's an awesome piece to have. I mean, Tyreek Stevenson though is no slouch himself. Like, I mean, he had what? Let me see here: 78 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 12 passes deflected. So he's getting his hands up there, and he had a touchdown. One of his interceptions he took for a touchdown, and 1 forced fumble. Jalen Johnson graded out at a 76.2, and Stevenson graded out worse at 58.9. Jalen Johnson was 18th out of 222 cornerbacks, and Tyreek Stevenson was 133.
Yeah.
And see, that's another thing. Like, I just don't agree with that ranking. Like, how are you going to have a guy that had very similar stats, actually had more tackles, Stevenson did, had less tackles for loss, but had more passes deflected, had a touchdown, had a forced fumble. Like, this guy played good, and you gave him such a worse grade. I just don't really understand that. I think that more what it probably was is he got thrown at a lot more because he was on the other side of Jalen Johnson. So he had more opportunity to mess up.
Well, and I mean, he's young. He's young too. He's 24, and he's only been in the league for 2 years.
Yeah, that's a huge bright spot on the defense there.
So, like, yeah, both your corners are good and young.
Yeah,
you can't be mad at that. That's great. Those are hard to find too.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got 2 of them, so that's great. Great spot to be in. Those are just all for the team leaders and all the different positions, but we're going to talk about just kind of some players of note. We got the Pro Football Focus grades up here, and I just kind of want to talk about this new offensive line that they've built here. Now, their left and right tackle are existing. They've been there. You got Braxton Jones. Yep. And Darnell Wright. So those guys have both been there for a while. And I mean, Braxton Jones was a 5th round pick, so that's great. I mean, he graded out well, 21st out of 81 tackles. And then Darnell Wright graded out good too, 79.3, good for 16th out of 81 tackles. So you got 2 top 20 guys. I mean, that's a great place to start at for your left and your right tackle. And then you went out and you got Joe Thuney.
Awesome.
Traded for him. Great pickup there, 7th out of 77 guards, and you signed Drew Dahlman, who we'll talk about a little bit more in our next section for free agency, who is a great signing. 4th out of 40 centers, and then as G said, Jonah Jackson doesn't really have a great grade there because he was hurt, like G said, but still solid, good. He's still pretty young. He's 28.
Talk about flipping the thing. I mean, that's a solid O-line. That's good.
Yeah.
That's definitely that's gonna make DeAndre Swift better. It's gonna make Caleb Williams better. It's gonna make all your receivers better. I mean, it's just it all starts in the trenches. He learned that from the Lions.
Absolutely. And I'm going to mention just a couple other people here too. TJ Edwards is a good linebacker for you guys, had good stats, had 129 tackles, so was only 1 short of the tackle leader. He also added 4 sacks. He had 12 tackles for a loss, 3 passes deflected and an interception, 1 forced fumble, 2 recovered. So, I mean, he was all over the place for you guys too. I don't think he graded out great. Yeah, he didn't grade out great on Pro Football Focus, but again, I don't really agree with that a lot of the time. And then Tremaine Edmonds, again, linebacker, played all 17 games for you guys, 110 tackles, 1 sack, 5 tackles for a loss. Or I'm sorry, 1 sack, 3 tackles for a loss, 8 passes deflected, and 1 interception and 1 forced fumble. So, your linebackers are solid. They may not grade out great because Edmonds had a 57th overall, 57th out of 84 linebackers. So, he didn't grade out great, but I think those are some great linebackers to have.
Yeah, I think they're all right.
Yeah. Despite Pro Football Focus's grade not being great.
Yeah, they weren't fair to them right there.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they got some good players. They could use a tight end though.
Yeah, I think they could use a tight end too. I mean, I like Cole Kmet and everything.
I mean, I think he had a off year, and his PFF grade's not fair, but
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it'll be interesting to see too.
Rookie last year. I mean, he played pretty good. He got a decent grade for. I think, and he kind of struggled in like the beginning. He struggled in the beginning.
Yeah,
he started picking it up towards the end.
Yeah, he did.
Let's see what he had. 96 targets, 54 receptions. He did have 734 receiving yards, which is not bad for a rookie.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And 3 touchdowns. So
yeah, he'll be a great piece to have on that offense. And I agree. I think they just need to maybe get a better tight end. I like Cole Kmet, but there's people in the draft out there. Yeah,
it wouldn't hurt to get another tight end.
We might talk about that a little bit later too. We'll see. And let's see. Is there anyone else I wanted to bring up? I thought there might have been someone else. No, I think that's good. We'll just go into free agent signings here. You guys weren't too active. From what I'm seeing, there was only a few signings here. Edge, you signed him. He's 25. His Pro Football Focus free agency rank was 43rd, so that's a good signing. And he graded out pretty good too. I'm pretty sure his grade was like pretty solid because it already shows him on the lineup for him. Yeah, 54th out of 119 edges. That's a great signing there. Drew Dahlman, we already talked about him. That was a huge signing. And what did they sign him to? Let's see here. I think they paid a lot for Drew Dahlman, but he's good. He came from the Falcons. He's pretty young too, from what I understand. I'm pulling him up right here. Yeah, he's only 26. They signed him.
No, he's 27. I'm showing 27.
I'm seeing his birthday is October 5th, whatever. Doesn't matter.
18.6 million
a year. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Well, that's cap hit anyway.
Yeah, it's the cap hit. Yeah, he signed a 3-year, $42 million deal. So yeah, his cap hit is 13 million this year, 14 next year, and 14 the year after that. There's potential out with only 2 million dead cap after the second year. So, if he doesn't turn out to be good, you guys can get rid of him. But a great signing. You did sign a tight end, Durham Smythe, but he's kind of a nobody. His free agency rank was a 252, 29.6.
I think he's tight end.
Yeah, I was going to say he's probably a blocking tight end. Day Zacchaeus, receiver, guy you guys signed. I've heard of his name a lot over the years, and he's just a good kind of journeyman receiver. Ranked pretty solid in Pro Football Focus last year. Yeah, 59.
He's going to be the Tim Patrick.
Yeah. This offense really should just look kind of like the Lions.
They really should, minus the fact that they don't have a good running back, but
yeah, not like you guys at least.
Yeah, we got two. We got two better than their number one.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the free agency too, like you guys lost a few people too. Your center Coleman Shelton, but he sucked anyway. Darrell Taylor,
they replaced that better.
Yeah, you guys kind of got better at the players that you got rid of. Tevin Jenkins, your guard, he's a solid guard, but you traded him out for Joe Thuney, so that's an amazing thing. And then you have a couple of free agents that are still sitting out there. The most notable of them all would be Keenan Allen, the 44th ranked free agent right now, but he's so old and injury prone at this point in his career. I don't really expect him to get signed. Not anytime soon. Someone will take a shot at him. Probably not the Bears, but like someone will.
No,
because he's still a good receiver. Don't get me wrong. Like he's solid, but like I'm not in a rush to sign Keenan Allen anymore.
No, they should go out and get like Cooper Kupp. But...
No, he signed with the Seahawks. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot.
I don't think they need to really get. I think that they're just going to focus on the draft at this point. They don't really have a lot of cap space, so
but they can get a receiver really late.
Yeah, this draft is really it's not very top heavy. Like there's not a lot of great receiver prospects at the top, but it's deep in receivers still.
Yeah, like there's not a real standout. There's like one, but the rest, potential decent receivers. They ain't gonna be superstars, but they could be. You never know.
Yeah. I would have liked to see the Bears like maybe go after someone a little bit more like on the D line. I guess they, like I said, they got Grady Jarrett too. So I guess I don't know. It's not bad. The Pro Football Focus grades just kind of throw me off. Yeah, Jaquan Brisker, the safety they have, like he's okay, but he's not great. So maybe getting another safety in there would be a good idea. I would like to see them maybe try and do something like that. Just improve that depth and improve the secondary just a little bit more. Something that, I don't know, just get that defense back to being the defense that was like made you afraid to play the Bears, because they were like that for a while. Like that defense was just so good, they just couldn't get the offense.
Yeah, really, you need safety and defensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everywhere else is. I mean, you're pretty much good. You don't need a cornerback.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
I
one
agree.
more, but like, I don't think you need it.
Yeah. I agree. So yeah, with that, you guys weren't very active in free agents, so we're going to move on to the draft here. With this, G and I are both going to share our screen here. We're going to go over our mock drafts. First. All right. So that way you guys can
just share your screen. We'll do it together. I'll tell you what I think.
Okay.
While you pick who you want to pick. But.
Sounds good. All right. So you can see we only go up to the third round here. And this is how we have our sliders set up here. I like to do public because I like to have it so it's what the fans are picking with, that way it kind of stays to how us, the fans, want it to be. And I don't like going off the Pro Football Focus boards anyway. I don't like going off all those different ones because they have such a different opinion on everybody. And I like to kind of base it on who the fans want, because let's face it, like that's what we're here for, is for the fans of these teams. So anyway, we don't do a lot of randomness because we want it to kind of be as close as we can for it. I do draft for need kind of in the middle there because I want, you need to draft for need at a certain point, but I like it to kind of be like, well, if someone's there though, you got to take them.
So, yeah, and not everybody drafts like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd be curious to see what you guys use for your draft. Let us know. Show us what you guys use. If you use a different website, let us know what you guys use for that too. I'd love to see it. So with that,
we're
let's get
always
started
up
here.
For some new content. Try something.
Absolutely. Different. So with that, we'll get to the 10th pick here, and you can kind of see who got picked before and see how we got to this point. And I mean, it's a possibility that it could go this way. I don't think the Giants pick Ashton Genty. That's a little random. I think that would never happen.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, so that's really weird. I kind of want to start this over, but that's still some combination of where I think people would go. I think Ashton Genty would probably go to the Raiders before he would go to the Giants.
I mean, you never know. I mean,
maybe
they're trying to replace Jaquan Barkley. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Make sure everyone forgets about it.
I'm thinking New York's going to go quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But anyway, this is who's available here. So with the 10th pick, again, this is kind of a good spot to trade out at if you really want to.
It's me. I'm going Malachi Starks.
Yeah, I don't really disagree because that would be a great addition next to Kevin Bayard there. But I don't know. It's just, man. I mean, Tyler Warren is such a.
What's his upside?
Yeah, I mean, his coverage grade's good. His run defense is good. His pro football focus grades are solid. I mean, he looks good and everything. And I've heard this guy's supposed to be amazing. It's not a bad pick or anything, but I just feel like his average draft position is 19. If you could, this is a position I think that I would trade out. Like, unless because we'll look at all these guys here. Like, the only player I'd really pick for them is going to be Malachi Starks or Tyler Warren. I think either of these guys.
Yeah, but that's like one of the best safeties in the draft. Like, you gonna pass up the best safety?
I mean, I don't know. I think you could trade back, and I think that what's his name?
You gonna pass up on the best safety when that's a team need?
Yeah, but there's also this guy, Nick Manwari. I like him a lot. He's supposed to be the second safety, and he's supposed to be really good too. But yeah, I mean, I don't really disagree. I think we can go Malachi Starks here. We'll see what the overall grade that we get here is, and coming up on that second round pick. So we got you guys your safety there, so that really solidifies that defense. I know that your starting left tackle is a free agent after this season, so I know that there's been talk about getting a left tackle. Josh Connerly could be that guy, 6'4", 315, pretty big dude.
He's
great for power blocking. I think that he'd be great. Good movement skills. It says, his pro football focus grade went up, so you can see that. I really like seeing that in a player. I think that shows that they can learn and they can get better, and they're not just going on their skill, their talent. They're improving themselves. So I don't know, with that, you think that we just go tackle here and we give them the left tackle of the future?
No.
I mean, what do you think? You think like Nick Scourton?
Yeah, I mean, you need D-line.
Yeah, I don't really disagree. I mean, I think that'd be a great addition.
Why not get a developmental, a guy that you can get an offensive lineman that might just need a year to develop.
Yeah.
And you may end up re-signing the guy anyway. So I mean,
yeah.
And you Probably are. If I'm the Bears, I'm going to try and re-sign him. So
yeah, because he's solid. He's definitely not a bad left tackle. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really disagree. All right, let's do a Nick Scourton, edge rusher.
Just the edge, yeah.
And then now to your second.
Look, there's your tackle anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. We give him another cornerback.
You could do T.J. Sanders. Go ahead and solidify the inside of that defensive line. Any running back.
Siobhan Ravel, you mentioned him a long time ago, and he's like starting to shoot up the draft board.
I think he's a good pick, but
yeah,
hopefully he stays. Yeah. Who's the running backs available?
Let's see. Cam's there, but he's pretty far back. I mean, Quinshon Judkins is there too. Like these guys are both.
He might get him in the fourth, but he might be gone. So,
yeah, I know it's definitely.
Sometimes you got to move up to get, if he's worth it.
Yeah, I don't really want to do any trades though. I just kind of want to keep it the same, just because we don't. Really know
I'm saying, but that might be why you at that point you just draft the best available player, but that don't necessarily mean best available PFF player.
True. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really like Josh Connerly here for that. I mean, it's hard, man.
I like Sanders. I'm solidifying that defense, man. It all starts in the trenches.
Yeah, that's true. We'll do that. Yeah. I don't disagree. So this is the last pick for the mock draft here. This is the third round pick, 8th pick overall. I mean, there's that running back. Dylan Sampson. I've seen good things about him. Good Pro Football Focus grade.
Yeah. No, he played good.
Yeah. I mean, he's not too small, not too big. He's a speedster.
Yeah, 5'11". I already got one in DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's really necessarily something we would see. But I mean, that's also kind of gives him his Jahmyr Gibbs, So
Judkins isn't there anymore, is he?
I don't think so. I think that's the best running back available. Yeah.
RG. Oh, Harvey. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I've heard good things about him.
Let's see. He's smaller, agile. I would get a bigger guy. They need us. There you go. What about Giddens?
Yeah,
DJ Giddens.
Well, and then now this is getting pretty far out there. He's 6'1", 212, so he's pretty decent size.
Yeah.
So he might be an option later on. I just don't think that they're going to really go after that with this pick. I think that, Mason Taylor, tight end, give him that tight end. He didn't grade out very good, but he's young and could grow into talent, But I don't know.
Who's available again?
So we got cornerback, running back, D-line, tight end, offensive tackle, linebacker. I don't know. We could get that offensive tackle. Scheme versatile football IQ.
Yeah, Boston College usually has some good ones too.
Yeah, and we haven't gotten that. We haven't done any.
But you got to get a running back.
Yeah, I don't really disagree, but I think.
But you can get him later on, I guess. You could get that guy I was talking about later on.
Yeah, look at this guy though. He's 6'8". That's a huge dude.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like it.
Yeah.
And you got a backup then.
Yeah. Very least, if he's versatile and he just kind of plays whatever, let's see what we got for this grade here.
Probably.
Oof.
Oh, not bad, hey.
They gave us a bad one. Yeah, A. So, not bad. They gave us a bad grade for that one, but says we did a great job and everything here. That was a good call on the edge rusher here, Galen, and the D lineman here too. Yep, good for you. So, that looks great.
Yeah, maybe I should do one. Damn, if you hadn't have done that offensive line to me, I would have probably got running back, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I would have given you a good grade probably because he was. Look at the big board grade too. 9, you got him at 10. 31, you got him at 39. 36, 41. 74, 72. So we pick these guys kind of where they're ranked. So I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, they definitely. That's what they're gonna need. I don't know what they're gonna get. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully they fall flat on their face, but I would say I'm sorry, Bears fan, but I'm not. So.
Yeah. You've been great throughout this episode, man. I haven't really had to reel you in or anything like that. It's kind of just been we're just chilling.
Yeah, I'm not really mad right now. I'm just mad at Benedict Johnson. I'm not even really mad at the Bears.
Yeah.
They haven't really been anything for a couple of years. We're way better than them. You know?
Yeah.
I like the Bears out of our division better than anybody else. So
Yeah.
I will say that. I mean,
You've
fuck
said
the
that a few
Vikings.
times.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought, now I really hate him because of Benedict Johnson, but
Yeah.
Hey, whatever.
I mean, the team looks good. I think that with the draft there, I think that there's going to be a lot of options to fill like the few holes that they have left. And I think that this team can be really improved. It's going to be really interesting to see how Benedict Johnson takes them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this too. I mean, I know some Bears fans, and I've read a couple things, and y'all are not gonna be competing with us for at least another
right away.
Year. Yeah,
absolutely not.
Yeah, this whole Bears might win the division. Get the fuck out of here.
Nah, just because you have
it's gonna be hard enough for
off-season
the
champions.
Lions to win the division, let alone the
Absolutely.
Bears. I mean, y'all are tripping. I mean,
there's 6 tough games there for all of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're in the Vikings, Detroit. I mean, they're gonna be Super Bowl runners. People are gonna think that from the get go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not the Vikings so much anymore. They ain't got.
We'll see how JJ McCarthy looks.
Yeah, I mean, but that kind of drops them down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They got dropped down pretty good last year when they had Sam Darnold. No one thought they were going to do what they did.
I'm thinking about it, but I mean, I think JJ McCarthy's going to do good. But what if he gets hurt again? Yeah. But I mean, still, I don't know, man. I mean, the Bears could sneak in there and be like second.
I think they're going to be a good team for sure. Like, they definitely have a lot of pieces in place to be a good team and be better than people think they're going to be. But I don't know, Bears fans, I do just hear all off season how great they are and how they're going to be great and all this stuff. And it's just chill. I like going into the season just being like, you know what, we improved in some good positions. We got better players here and there. That's why I like. I'm not going to say we're going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say we're going to make the playoffs. I'm saying this team looks good. And that's all I'm going to leave it at, and that's the same thing I say for the Bears. It's this team looks good. Well, it should be improved. They've added a lot of pieces around the whole team.
I'm thinking about it after I just said all that. Honestly, I mean, the Bears could definitely be better than the Packers. I don't think the Packers are that great.
Yeah.
I don't think Jordan Love's as good as everybody thinks he is. Saying he is, but I ain't seen it.
I don't really disagree.
So I mean, the Bears, they can overstep. They can overstep the Packers, and then, if something happens to JJ McCarthy or that don't pan out, I mean, they could easily find themselves in second. I just think they're gonna have a hard time against Detroit. I don't think they're there yet. I don't think they're on our level. Hey, but I mean, we get the injury bug again. I mean,
you never know.
Yeah,
I mean, really, you never know.
Benedict Johnson's gone, so maybe we're just gonna suck now.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how the division looks, because there is a lot of change, and the Packers are really the only team that hasn't changed. So I think that's going to be a really good division. I think the Bears have a chance to, they have a chance to be a good team, but there's 6 tough games every year. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because none of you guys are going to play easy on the other teams. You guys all play each other really hard. They're all good teams. They're all coached well, and I think that this is going to be a really good season still. Even if you don't get the outcomes that you like, Bears fans, there's going to be a lot of positives this season. I think that you're going to see a much improved team. You're going to start seeing Ben Johnson changing the culture around there. And it's just going to
eat him up, just saying.
Yeah, he's going to. He's going to get after that offensive line. He's going to really see how good
it don't matter how good your O-line is.
Yeah, he's going to get after him.
Yeah, put Jonah on him, see what happens.
Yeah, right?
Nah, but I think the Bears will be better. And,
for sure.
I hope you guys are better, but not.
Yeah, we talked about this before. It's we like having a good division to be in. You don't want to just. I mean, of course, you want to win every game, but you don't want to just roll over every team every year.
Nah, competition's good.
Yeah, exactly. It makes the games fun, I don't want to go into a division game and be like, we're just going to crush these guys. They suck every year, I'm sure that's how the Chiefs feel every time they go play the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't want to see that either. If I'm watching a game with a Bears fan. You know, like I want it to be a good game. I don't want it to be a blowout. So like I hope the Bears do good. I don't want the Bears to be bad, but
yeah.
I mean, honestly, I really hope they. You know, I say that, but I don't mean that.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I hope y'all fucking fall flat on your face. I'm sorry, Nick Johnson.
And here it is. You waited this long, and now you get to hear G really going off.
You know, I mean, good for y'all for getting him, but fuck y'all for getting him. And it's just the way it went. You know, I can't wait till we play y'all next year.
Yeah, I'm excited for that game. I think everybody's excited for that.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
Dan Campbell's gonna, it's gonna be real
biting
good.
Some kneecaps.
Yeah, even some of the players are a little upset too.
I'm sure
after some of the shit that Ben Johnson has been saying. But
yeah,
it's gonna be a dog fight.
Absolutely. And let's get to the end here and let's finish up with the Assbacks of the team. So if you haven't been here before, Assbacks of the team are just kind of players, coaches, GMs, whatever it is that we just think kind of one needs to get their ass out of here. An Assback is usually the third, fourth string player. He wants to go in and they go, coach, put me in. He said, get your ass back to the bench. And that's what an Assback is. So we do a bad one. We do a good one. My bad one is going to be GM Ryan Poles. Now, he has done a decent job building this team. My biggest issues are that he held on to Eberflus for too long. He should have never had him even last season because they were drafting Caleb Williams, and now you started him off with changing his offensive coordinator after his rookie season, which is never a good thing. You want to have them as much continuity as possible, and I think that Ryan Poles not firing him when he should have really hurt the team. I also think that having all of these great draft picks from the Panthers and everything that you got, and how much people always brag about that, how much better have you really gotten from this? So Ryan Poles, I think you need to do better. I think you need to get your ass back. I think you're on thin ice. I think if after this season it doesn't work out, I think that you should be the one that everybody looks to, because you made all these trades, you made all these things, and you went out and did all this. I like a lot of the stuff you did. Don't get me wrong. I think this team looks good. I really struggled with this bad ass back here. But if I have to pick one, I'm picking Ryan Poles.
I got a different one.
All right, let's hear it, G.
Mine's Ben Johnson, man. Get your ass back out of this division. With your traitor ass ways, and hope you flop on your face and
come crawling back.
No, don't come back. Fuck no, you're not welcome in Detroit. Stay the fuck out. You know?
He said bye.
Yeah. I mean, I would have rooted for him if he had gone anywhere out of the division, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Should have got your ass out of the division. But now he's here, so now we're going to kick his ass.
I like it. All right. My good ass back. I kind of mentioned how, they might replace him here. But I really like Cole Kmet, tight end. Had over 60 targets and no drops. So, he looked great. He is a solid tight end. He 10 yards catch average, 4 touchdowns. He's had some really great games. He had 7 big plays. Yards after catch was 181, 25 first downs. Yeah, he looks great. I really like him a lot. I couldn't really think of another person that I'd rather see come back. I think that he looks good. I mean, Caleb Williams is an option too. Get your ass back there. Get your ass back on the field. We want to see you improve in the second season. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I like Cole Kmet. I think that, a lot of people say that they need a tight end. I think Cole Kmet can be that guy because he's pretty young too. I don't think he's that old. Let's see.
Mine's Jalen.
Yeah, he's only 26. Jalen Johnson, that's a great one.
Get your ass back out there and hope that defense be good. What they should be. That defense should be stout. Yeah, I like Jalen Johnson. I'd take him any day. But yeah, that's my favorite Bears player. I'll say that. But yeah, get your ass back on that field. That defense was supposed to be.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to our episode here. We went over Benedict Johnson. We always want to hear from you guys. We don't get any comments, and we always want to hear, let us know what you think about the team. We want to hear from the fans about the people that actually know about these teams. What do you think about this team? We want to see your mock drafts. Let us know who you guys think that they need to get. Let us know if you agree with what we said or if we're just totally off. We're not Bears fans, but again, G does play in the same division, so he knows these people. He knows this team, and I think that he speaks from a good place coming against you guys every year, twice a year. I think that's a really knowledgeable spot to be in.
Definitely biased on some opinions.
For sure. But you know, that's what makes sports great, is that we can all have our own kind of opinions. And
get on here, leave some comments, tell me how terrible I am and how the line sucks.
We love talking shit, so you know, like we'll definitely comment back. G will definitely get back in with all you guys, and I'll definitely stand up for
if
all
you
my
leave a
guys
comment
too.
I'll be sure to get back to you, I promise.
Yep. So, without that, you know, make sure you get your ass back for the San Francisco 49ers. They're going to be our next episode here. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere else you get your podcasts from too. Pretty much anywhere, we're going to be there. So make sure to give us a follow and a like. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.